Hey, Al. So, everyone's got a story. Some of them are funny, some of them are sad, some of them are uplifting, but they're all different. So, I got some stories for you today. You ready? Let me tell you this first one. You see, what had happened was he almost died, and then he saw the light, and now he's changing his life for the better.
All right, and this is who? Henry?
Mr. Henry, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We are on the record in state of Kansas versus Andrew Martin Henry. It is 23 TR 3060. The state appears by and through Mr. Canfield. Mr. Henry is in custody. He has been arrested on a probation violation warrant. That was signed by Judge Ricky back in December of 23, December 22nd. And the request for probation office involves the case not being paid off and not reporting as directed.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I read you a letter, please? Ms. Satterfield?
Yeah, this is post-conviction, so you're probably fine. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Dear Ms. Satterfield, I wanted to write to you today to explain that my charges are serious by the court. However, that is nothing that I would run from. I did miss my probation violation in my hearing on my other case as I was in the hospital. I had low white blood cell meningitis. I was in there for almost 3 months.
Did you know that meningitis is just the infection and inflammation of the fluids and membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord? I mean, I thought it was a lot more complex than that. It's still really bad, but it's, not as bad as I always thought it was growing up. It usually results in headache, fever, and stiff neck. Stiff neck's the big one everybody knows about. The severity varies, like from one end of the spectrum to the other. Some people, it can resolve without any treatment at all, and other people die. There's two causes, like most illnesses, viral and bacterial. Viral meningitis is caused by many of the common viruses we're familiar with: influenza, measles, mumps, varicella zoster, the chickenpox, shingles virus, herpes simplex, and Epstein-Barr virus. Fun fact, everyone with MS has Epstein-Barr virus antibodies. There was a Harvard study. They haven't linked it yet. Bacterial meningitis, though, tends to spread easily in group settings like college dorms or, say, like prisons. However, both normal forms of meningitis usually result in elevated white blood cell count because your body's trying to fight off the infection. I couldn't find a disease anywhere that was called like low white blood cell count meningitis. However, there's a couple diseases like Lyme meningitis that result in low white blood cell count, and that's just a rare complication of Lyme disease, when you get a tick bite, and then apparently Lyme disease is horrid. And in addition to the normal meningitis symptoms, you also suffer numbness, pain, weakness, facial palsy, and visual disturbances. Sounds wonderful. I'm glad he healed and is better.
And I did report this to my attorney, Joseph Fabre, as well as Joanne, the clerk of the court, was made aware of my situation. As soon as I was out of the hospital, I surrendered myself. I have no new charges. During the 3 months that I was in the hospital, it was really hard because I had to pray to God to keep me alive. And no one wants to die, obviously, but when you're faced with that kind of a situation and you feel like you had to fight like hell, no legal matter seems more important. I was given a 25% chance of recovery, but made 100% recovery. And that was through the salvation of God. I'm asking that this court please OR me. I don't have any money right now, and I do have gainful employment. My job is willing to take me back. I have a house now. Everything has gotten better from the last time in my situation. I wanted to let you know that if I was given a second chance, Your Honor, and I was allowed to OR today, that I can guarantee you 100% that I will be at court, as I am feeling great now.
Okay, well, do you know who Anthony Bauer is?
That is the probation officer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And see, I didn't even make one contact because I was in the hospital. They put me on probation and I couldn't even make a contact. I called the court, I talked to Joanne, and I also talked to Joseph Fabre, which is my attorney. As soon as I got out, I turned myself in. I surrendered knowing that I was going to be in this position. I have 0 new charges. That's why.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a 5,000 OR bond unless the prosecution has some evidence to show that you've
I still
made
have
all
the
this.
hospital marks.
So I'll give you an opportunity to reappear
Thank you.
on these misdemeanors in front of
Thank
Judge Ricky. I'll give you a 5,000 OR bond. That means
Thank you.
that you're signing an order saying the state's going to take judgment against you
Yes.
and be able to collect against you $5,000 if you
Yes.
fail to appear.
Yes.
Plus,
Be here.
there'll be a bond forfeiture bench warrant,
Yes.
and then Judge Ricky will issue a no bond hold.
Yes.
So when
I
you get
understand.
picked up or you turn yourself in, whatever you do, you're going to be held for several months until he
Yes.
gets scheduled for a hearing.
I know.
So when you get released today, I want you to call, go see, make sure you make some kind
I
of
will.
contact with Mr. Bauer today
I will.
and stay in contact with him.
I will.
Your revocation hearing is scheduled, and I would suggest you do try to get to work and start paying on your
Yes.
case.
Yes. It's only $600. I'll pay it right off.
Okay. So your next hearing then will be a warrant show cause hearing in front of Judge Ricky on May 10th at 2:30.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Satterfield.
Should be a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. At 2:30. Those are
Friday,
you.
May 10th at 2:30.
Yeah. Yeah, and he requires on revocation hearings for you to show up here at the courthouse.
Okay, so no Zoom, just at the courthouse.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. He
Thank
may
you.
Zoom the hearing, he may be remote, but he wants you here.
Oh, he wants me there. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. Were you saying that you just couldn't stay in touch very well with Mr. Favre?
I did stay in touch with Fabre. Fabre, except the thing is, when I got put in the hospital was the day after my actual court date, and I called him and told him, and the warrant was already issued. I talked to Joanne, and she said that there was nothing she could do about it.
Okay.
Once the judge issues
Well,
the warrant.
I'll go ahead and reappoint Mr. Favre for you then.
Thank you.
Unless you just want to go ahead and represent yourself.
No, because Fabre has all my documentation.
Okay, fair enough.
And Your Honor, I'm showing 2 cases for the,
Oh, shoot, Mr. Henry, now I'm really gonna be fouled up.
No, there was 2 cases. I had a hearing on one, but I will appear on both of them. I swear to God, Miss Satterfield. And they're very low level stuff, and please, I have no money.
This is in front of Judge Hart. I just have to be careful what I do with other judges.
I understand. I will not let you down. I promise. I haven't seen my family since I got out of the hospital.
Have you been on narcotics in the hospital?
I have been on some narcotics, yes.
Because this was originally a fentanyl case, and I don't want you going back.
No, it was hydrocodone, which is a way less narcotic.
Well, it says fentanyl here, but.
No,
okay.
fentanyl was my charge, but hydrocodone is what the hospital gave me.
Right. What I'm
Right.
saying is that it would be easy for you
I will
to
not
back
mess
to
up.
street drugs.
I literally my life was just on the line. I had a 25% chance to live. That's a life-changing moment for anybody.
It should be.
It was.
All right. Well, I'll give you a 5,000 OR on that one too, I guess.
Thank you so much.
You'll either make these judges proud of you.
I'm gonna make them proud of me.
Fool,
make 'em
either
proud of me.
one. So, all right. So 5,000 OR on this. This is, you haven't even had a prelim on this.
That's what I'm saying. No, I literally went to the hospital and haven't been able to finish any of this. My last case was put on probation though. And then I'm closer. I had my first appearance, and then I was going to my second appearance, and then they asked for a continuance. And then my third appearance is when I was in the hospital.
All right, so your court date with Judge Hart is June 24th at 2:30. That will be by Zoom.
Okay.
Was Mr. Favre your attorney on this too? I'll
Yes.
appoint Mr. Favre on it too.
Yes, Ms. Satterfield.
Do you want me to note this, Mr. Canfield, over your objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll see what happens with you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ms. Satterfield.
All right, we are adjourned.
Now, story number 1 may have seen the light, but story number 2 is kind of confused. You see, what had happened was he had a court date and he showed up for court. No one was there. Why was no one at court?
Are you Antonio Xavier Jones?
Yes, I am.
You got picked up on a bond forfeiture bench warrant as well
Yeah,
because you failed to appear on January 10th,
yeah.
2024 on a traffic case, 22 TR 1207. Looks like you only have one case, a traffic case. And Judge Webster issued a no bond hold for you, but let me look here.
Yeah. And I went to my court date at 5:30 p.m. and I called my bondsman because I was keeping update with him ever since I got pulled over because I just obtained my license in I think last October, and I got pulled over in Great Bend, and they told me that I had a warrant out for you guys, and I didn't understand it because I was going to court trying to fix everything, and that's when they told me I had something for you guys. And I was keeping update with my bondsman every Monday. He'd check in, and a week before my court date, he had asked me, don't forget. Well, he told me don't forget about your court, and I texted him back. Yeah, it's at 5:30 next week. I'm still going and everything. He said okay. I went to my court date at 5:30.
But you never in your life that I know of will ever be given a 5:30 p.m. court date unless you're somewhere that has night court. And I don't know of anywhere except maybe municipalities that might have night court. It would
And-
never be at 5:30. We don't, everybody leaves at 5. Place shuts down,
Okay.
security goes home. So I don't,
Yeah, I don't
No.
know. When I told him, when I called them that day when I went there, they was closed, and he told me that I had the time mixed up. And it was supposed to be that morning. I think he said it was like 9 that morning or so.
why are you going to trial on a driving while suspended anyway? Either on April 22nd of 2022, your license was suspended or it wasn't.
No,
If
no.
you're driving and your license is suspended and they can prove they sent you a notice of suspension, it doesn't matter whether you got it. It doesn't matter whether you knew it was suspended or not. If it's suspended for whatever reason and the state sends you a notice in the mail, all they have to do is send it to the place that you last listed on your driver's license as your address. And if they do that, there's a presumption that you received it,
Yeah,
and it's a strict liability crime. Either you were driving on a suspended license or you weren't.
yeah.
So why are you messing around with a bunch of court dates with this case unless your license actually was not suspended on April the 22nd of 2022?
Okay, this is what happened. I remember I used to work out here. I was delivering, and I got pulled over, and he told me I got pulled over by a sheriff, and he told me, he said, you know, your license is suspended. This is your second time, and I was like, no, this is my first time getting notified, and I gave him my license. he said, I got to take your license because they suspended. And I gave it to him, and I came back up here, had the court date. And then a lot of stuff personal happened to me. I lost two family members, lost my house and everything. So that was my fault that I forgot about that. And then I was working on my license last year in the summer, and I was going to court in Andover, and they had afternoon court. It wasn't in the morning. And I was going there and I got my license obtained. I paid my tickets off on the Butler Associates. And I guess something in their system was messed up because she couldn't see that I paid it. But when I went to my court and I told her I paid it, she unsuspended everything and just told me to pay my court fees. And then like a month later, I got pulled over in Great Bend, and they told me that I had a warrant out for my arrest due to here. And I was confused because I was going to Andover court to get everything taken care of when I was able to. So I don't know. That's when they told me that I had a warrant for you guys, and I went to jail, got my bondsman and everything. Then had my court. It was January for this year. It was January, and then that's when I was keeping an update with him every Monday, letting him know that I was going to go. And then when I went to there, I went at the wrong time. Then I called the next morning. I called the clerk next morning, and she told me I had to wait on my letter to get sent out. So that's why I was doing, just waiting.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like you've ever had an attorney, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
You can set this for trial again. You'll go back in front of Judge Webster, and you can ask for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll probably give you a court-appointed attorney that you may have to repay if you get convicted. Or you can waive your right to an attorney and plead guilty to this driving while suspended charge, and we'll proceed to sentencing today, and you won't have to go back in front of Judge Webster. So what would you like to do?
Can you repeat it one more time so I can actually get a good detail again?
Okay.
Sorry.
I can schedule this case back in front of Judge Webster, which will be on July the 1st. You can represent yourself, or I can give you court-appointed counsel if you qualify for that hearing. Or you can waive your right to an attorney, enter a plea today. I will sentence you today, and you will not have to go back in front of Judge Webster on July 1st.
Okay, I think I want to do that. Want to see her again.
Okay. All right. So are you currently working?
Yeah.
Where are you working at?
Buddha's Careers. B-A-O-U-D-O. Buddha. It's African.
Okay. So is it kind of like UPS or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Where do you live?
It took me a while to sort out what was going on with this guy. So, I did it for you. He has 3 different charges. The first is from September of 23. It was driving with license suspended, as well as fleeing and attempting to elude. On the next month, 10/23, there was an identity theft, forgery, interference with law enforcement by false reporting, driving with a suspended license, no insurance, expired tag, failure to check for safe passage before passing from a single lane. That's a good one. He took a plea with 6 months deferred with a year probation, which was revoked in January, and a warrant was issued in April, which is what he's talking about here. After that happened, he got another charge in November of last year for possession of fentanyl, of MJ, and some paraphernalia.
And how long have you lived in Wichita?
My whole life.
Okay. All right. So how much do you make an hour?
I say about 20 an hour.
Do you have any children?
No.
Dependent?
No.
I don't think you're gonna qualify for court-appointed counsel, so you're either
Yeah.
gonna have to represent yourself or you're gonna have to hire an attorney to help you out. Your
Okay.
court date will be July the 1st at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Webster. And now I need to set a bond. I don't know that I'm gonna keep him on a no bond hold for a first offense, driving while suspended, even though I see that there have been two different issues with him appearing. He was on a $1,000 court cash or surety bond. I
Yeah,
might,
yeah. I seen that I think I seen that in my mail, the $1,000 surety.
set his bond at 2,500 cash or surety or something of that nature, but what's your recommendation?
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Can,
the state does not object to a cash surety bond. 2,500 cash surety sounds good to.
okay, so 2,500 cash or surety, get your own attorney. Your court date's July 1 at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Webster.
July 1st, 9 a.m. Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
I love how matter of fact she is. Why are you wasting our time with that? We go home at 5 o'clock. I don't know why you were here. She's great. Our next story. A little disturbing. See, what happened was he got kidnapped at a toll booth.
Sir, what's your name
Kingsley Uwadia,
and where do you live?
Wichita, Kansas,
How old are you?
41.
What were you doing in Butler County when you were arrested?
It's driving to Wichita. And he actually brought me back from Wichita to here. I was in Wichita, and he brought me back.
Oh, was there some kind of domestic related incident that was reported?
I got pulled over driving, and the trooper gave me a ticket. So we leaving. So she gets upset at me and is on the phone while talking to me. I'm not knowing what's going on. She said, drop her off. I'm like, okay, well, where do you want me to meet him at? This and that. I'm asking her questions. She just said, drop me off, drop me off. So get to the first exit. I dropped her off. I said, do you want me to wait for you? Do you want me to take you anywhere, wait for you? She says, no, I'm good. I leave, get to Wichita. I get off on the exit. The little gate goes up when I paid. And then I'm trying to drive through. It goes back down, hits the car. And then I back up. His car hit the button. Hey, the gate came down on me and I paid. Two police came around, said, hey, then they talk and they open the gate back up, pull over there. I pulled up. They said, get out the car, put me in handcuffs. I said, do you know Gail? I said, yeah. Said she basically, I was keeping the car. I said, I dropped her off. I'm in Wichita. Well, come back over here with us to Butler. We're going to talk to the officer. And if it makes sense to you, we're going to let you go. So my vehicle is still in Wichita. They drive me all the way back to El Dorado. And he asked me what happened. I said, I don't know what's going on. After you pulled me over and gave me a ticket, I'm driving. She's upset. She's on the phone. She's telling me, drop her off. I'm like, where? This and that. Somebody meet you? She says, drop her off. So I get off on the exit. I did drop her off. And I leave.
Okay.
So I don't understand. I don't understand.
Okay. Well, for whatever reason, they didn't file any charges today on you.
Right. Because I dropped her
You're,
off.
you're going to be released. Hopefully you've got somebody you can call that can give you a ride back to Wichita.
Thank you. Because like I said, I don't understand. Because I dropped her off and
Yeah, I might stay away from whoever this lady is.
You think I was going to talk to her again after this? I've been here since Monday.
Okay.
Right.
All right. All right.
Thank
You're
you
free
so
to
much.
go. Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You see, what had happened was he ain't got no friends, he ain't got no car, he ain't got no money for no bus fare, and he broke his ankle so he can't even walk. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Sorry. Can't walk on a broken ankle. No, bones broke. Can't walk on them when they're broken. They're not together. Can't walk. Sorry.
Are you Robert Andrew Cooey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and 23 TR 1167, you have a bond forfeiture bench warrant out of Judge Webster's traffic docket for failing to appear when you were on a $2,000 bond with second chance on October. No, I'm sorry. I guess it was just April 1 that you failed to appear. Does that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
She put you on a no bond hold. What happened on April 1st?
Well, about a month ago, I broke my ankle, fractured it, had surgery. My doctor did not want me on my ankle. I did call to try and see what I could do about court because I don't have any close family that lives here in town. Don't have a lot of friends either, and if I did, they were all at work at the time. So I did call the courthouse and try and figure out what time my court was, when I needed to be there, so I could then forward call and get a ride ahead of time. I called and they told me that I needed to call my attorney and ask him about when my court is and all that. And I tried to call my attorney. I haven't been able to get through to my attorney since since back when I was locked up last time, my last court date. So it's just been hectic. Like, it's not that I didn't want to come to court. It's just circumstances and.
Who is your attorney?
I cannot remember his name to save my life. Like I said, I've haven't even got to talk to him. I left him my name and phone number. I've called his office multiple times. I know a lot of people get the same guy. He's just a public attorney. I cannot remember his name to save my life.
Did you get your license reinstated?
I didn't.
Are you living here on Carr in El Dorado?
No, I'm actually on 4th now.
You couldn't figure out a way to get to the courthouse in town when you live in town?
No, like I said, all my friends and family were at work at the time. I did call around and ask for rides, and
I see a lot of people walking and riding bikes and riding
well, that was
scooters.
the thing. I was on heavy restrictions from my doctor for my ankle. I could not.
Who's your doctor?
Dr. Sayed.
Who?
Dr. Sayed at the hospital here in town, Susan B. Allen.
Do you have any records of that?
All my records are going to be at home, or they're going to be at my job where I had to take them.
Where's your job?
It's here in town, Curbs Plus.
How'd you get picked up on this warrant?
How? I was just at home and they came and got me.
Okay. All right, I'll reappoint Mr. Patterson. Your court date's going to be July 1st at 8 o'clock. So you got plenty of time to get your ankle rehabbed and walk your way to court.
Okay.
You better be here at the courthouse. July 1st,
Yes, ma'am.
3 days before July 4th.
That's actually my birthday, so.
Should be a Monday. Yep, Monday. 8 o'clock in the morning, bright and early. When better wake up with the roosters and get to walking and get to court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 4th Street isn't very far from Main and Central, which is, we're not too far off there, of course, at 201 West Pine. So I'm pretty sure she's pretty serious about a no bond hold, and I'm pretty confident that the next time you get picked up, you won't get out of jail. So that would mean you would basically go from today to July 1st without being able to make a bond or get out of jail at all on this traffic case. Speeding and driving while suspended, first offense. To me, that sounds pretty silly to not just show up for court. Mr. Canfield, what is your recommendation on bond?
Your Honor, the state would ask for a cash surety bond in the amount of $5,000. Additionally, I will note that those misdemeanor dockets are on Zoom, so the defendant would not necessarily need to appear in person.
Yeah, but when they fail to appear, I want them to come here. Because I know that if they can't make a good connection or can't get on, or their internet's not working, or their phone's not working, then they get a bond forfeiture bench warrant. So if I'm gonna give them a bond on a case where they failed to appear, I'm generally gonna require that they show up at the courthouse so that we know that they have equipment, security's there to vouch for them, that they're, available for court and all that kind of thing. Well, I'm gonna double your bond, which is what we generally do when you fail to appear. And it's certainly better than a no bond hold that you're currently on. So 4,000 cash or surety, July 1, 8 a.m. Mr. Patterson's your attorney. They should give you information on Darren Patterson. He's right here in town. His number's 322-7700. Make sure that you appear at the courthouse for your hearing, okay?
Ma'am.
All right, thank you.
How about a random bonus update? Cold P girl. She is still in the Butler County Jail. She was supposed to be transported to state. That's supposed to happen pretty quick. Sometimes takes a week or two because paperwork. This was months ago. I'll link to the original streams in the description in case you needed to know what had happened with some cold pee. It's very, very informative. You'll learn a lot about fake pee. Enjoy.
86, 115 from video court.
Okay. This is State of Kansas versus Janie Lee Fry, 2023 TR 414. State appears by and through Mr. Canfield. It looks like you were placed on an expedited docket to appear on January 19th, 24 in front of Judge Lee, and you failed to appear.
Miss Satterfield, I showed up. I was just late.
Hang on. I'm still trying to read through here. Then the warrant was withdrawn. You later appeared. You waived your right to a probation violation hearing. You stipulated to use of drugs. The stipulation was accepted. You were ordered to serve a 45-day sanction, and then your probation was reinstated. Jail sanction to run concurrent to your felony case. And then they filed a probation revocation. I'm gonna assume that you didn't show up or didn't do your 45 days. I don't know. Mr. Canfield,
I was arrested on the 19th and I did my 45 days and I haven't left since. I've been here since January 19th.
Okay, so why is she here?
Your Honor, I believe it is because of the OJA's new rule. I do not have the new warrant to show cause, and I don't believe I can access it at this time.
What's the jail show? Why they're holding her?
KDOC, I was revocated on my correction, so I'm going to KDOC, waiting on my journal entry.
Oh,
And they combined my corrections and probation to my corrections officer, and she revocated me, so I don't know what that means on my probation.
warrant to show cause filed 2/8. Okay, so what they're saying in this case is that you're unavailable to report because of your DOC commitment. And I guess that's why they did this. And frankly, I think this got ran concurrent maybe to your felony. Oh, the jail sanction ran concurrent to your felony. I don't know. Let me see what your journal entry said, whether this was concurrent or consecutive to your felony. I would say if you want to waive your right to a hearing on this, we'll just revoke you on this and have it run concurrent to your DOC time, and they'll turn your costs and fees over to collections if you don't.
That's fine. I don't have any choice really. I gotta go do 18 months, so.
Okay. I think you only got 6 months on this, and
I've been here almost 4 months in Butler County Jail.
okay. So this doesn't say it's consecutive to anything, and if it's silent, that means it's concurrent. I don't know what the felony journal entry looks like, but if you want to just sign a waiver of counsel on this, admit that you're not going to be available to report, and I'm going to order that you get credit for your time in DOC on this sentence, and that you've served your sentence, and refer your costs and fees to collections if you haven't been able to pay those off in 6 months.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I will waive my right.
Okay, all right. All right, they'll give you a form. Let's just do that and have you be done with this case. And then, Amy, would you notify Ms. Ashenfelter what I did on this misdemeanor case? And I guess if there's a problem, somebody can let me know, but it's only a 6-month sentence, so I'm pretty sure that she will have flattened her sentence, which means there's not much else we're going to do, but make sure that we collect the court costs. There is, Mr. Canfield, I was trying to find it yesterday. I've got to go look for that more recent case I saw. I hadn't really had a case come up before yesterday. I think were you on that case where we were talking about well, it would have been Friday. I'm sorry, because that was my revocation docket. That you can't just revoke on a probation because they've been remanded to the Department of Corrections on another one, on a case as your basis, your only basis to revoke. And I need to know that, but this is a misdemeanor, so I don't think it would apply anyway.
I believe Ms. Norris was on that hearing. I was not.
Okay.
I'm familiar with
You're
that.
right. You are, what, are you familiar with that case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, I'll find it, but I don't think it applies to this anyway, because it's a misdemeanor. and I think they were talking about adding someone consecutively to the Department of Corrections on something that, they were on probation for, simply because they're gonna be unable to report because they've been entered into the Department of Corrections system, but I'll find it. But I think it's fine to do it this way, and then this case should be closed, Ms. Fry, okay?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Satterfield. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. Take care.
I will, thank you.
86 control 11015. That's all I have here, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.